Hello and welcome to the Learn Dota 2 League Season 12, Week 6. I'm coming off of the BBC, the Big Brain Club,
Yeah.
pre-show shenanigans. So my voice is shot, but the good news is I
The
didn't get
British
spoiled for
Bakery
this.
Channel, as it were.
The what now?
British Bakery Channel.
Yeah.
Dire team ban.
Coming in for game 2 here. Immediately, Panic knocking out that Grimstroke. Panic clearly does not like supports that bring these reliable stuns, these rundowns, or these sort of chain together ults to the table.
Yep.
Nor do they like OD. Which, no surprise there. OD had a lot to say to Panic last round, even if they weren't ultimately successful. Sparta, of course, banning out Disruptor, who, that boss Disruptor game. Seems like every Pause 4 who really wants to impress us just has to put on a really good Disruptor game. Like, Boss has definitely been, despite being the captain, one of the more sort of subtle members of Panic, right? Has not had a great presence, I don't think, in the tournament so far. But pulling out a almost match of the week candidate on that Disruptor there.
It's true.
Always seems to be that Disruptor. Now we're going for the Snapfire, taking a page out of the Roxy Roro playbook.
Silencer.
Sparta immediately picking up the Silencer. They're thinking, last time they immediately banned out the Silencer. They don't want to see him for one reason or another. Let's pick him up this time. Get him as soon as possible, actually.
Sure, it also messes up Snap Ulti, so there's that.
Oh, yeah.
10 seconds.
Yeah, it's not like Snapfire is a hero that can easily and conveniently just, casually pick up BKB or something, so. Is going to be affecting the Snapfire ult for the rest of the game, basically. We're putting some thought into the second pick here. Stop being in a situation like this against Panic. Panic is certainly one of the teams where ideally, you really want to come in having the advantage of having them pick earlier, right? You definitely want to come in knowing, to a degree, what the game plan for Panic is going to be, because I do feel like they're definitely one of the teams with the most diverse playbook. It's certainly, they tend to focus on the 4 Protect one. Some of their pools aren't gigantic, but, Kai is going to be bringing something fairly fresh to most of the matchups. Just the building around them, very important, very interesting. Lina coming up here early.
Could be a mid laner or a boss laner.
Yep. Notably, last round we had a first pick mid, so
this is true.
Definitely within the realm of possibility. We're looking at a mid Lina here. Getting rid of the Bristleback as well. Panic just knocking out what Sparta was bringing to the table last round. I don't know if that's the plan with Sparta. I don't know if that's what you do against them, because Sparta actually have that advantage themselves. Sparta themselves, they have a pretty big hero pool. I think the narrowest on the lineup might be Giraffe, the Beatus, their Pause 1. We've seen play maybe 3 or 4 heroes through this tournament, but banning out big boy heroes, unless you specifically are countering them, seems like to me maybe just a bit of a waste of a ban. I don't know. Sparta banning out the Medusa again. Funnily enough, I actually feel like the same issue goes that way as well. Banning out Kai heroes. It's like that guy plays more or less every Pause 1 to some degree. So if you're banning out just because it's just like a comfort ban, just a respect
Not
ban,
wanting to run it back.
right? If you're banning just because you don't want them to run it back, well, chances are better than not. That's just not what they were going to do anyway, Both teams kind of in that department. Panic, perhaps a little bit conscious of that fact, taking it out on the Underlord there. Very common, very popular big boy hero. The hero that was being played during the infamous tip heard round the world incident.
No, that's true.
Where he tipped Tybor so hard that the currency fell on his head and he had to retire due to injury. Picking up a Centaur here. Very early pick for the big boy hero in this lineup. Usually,
Right.
usually Sparta tends to pick the big boy hero fourth at the earliest, so this week, seeing a bit of an inversion on
5
that.
seconds remaining.
I can
Yeah,
tell
this
you
week
this
they're
much.
holding Beatus and Jackie Chen.
Yep. I can tell you this much. It's going to be. Well, hey, you don't necessarily know that's not Jackie and Silencer. Unlikely,
No,
but you
I
can't
don't think
discount
so.
it. You would say just completely right off
Yeah, it's not happening.
against
It's not the type of team that would play a mid silencer.
perhaps. I can tell you this much. I do feel like it would be a pretty solid matchup against Selena. Be a lot of who fires first, certainly.
Radiant
If you
team
played it
pick.
competently. Elder Titan, that's certainly a first of this
Okay.
tournament.
Yeah, it was all over TI, but not all over LD2L.
Right. Yeah, LD2L has, for the most part, been, I wonder what position he's going to be in.
10 seconds remaining.
Could be Snap 5, Elder 4. Could be
5
Snap 5,
seconds
Lena 4,
remaining.
Elder 3. Be interesting to see.
I think it had some crazy win rate at TI too, like 70% or something
Right.
like that.
I can tell you this much. I think the biggest thing is that most folks, especially at the LD2L sort of level, are going to be playing Elder Titan as a 4. And I feel like both melee 4s and tanky / initiators sort of 4s are kind of passe at this tournament. People like that as a 3. And most folks just kind of want raw CC for their 4, it feels like. So it'll be interesting to see what goes on with the Titan here.
Dire team
Yeah.
pick.
This is another I don't know what they're doing this guy hero. My guess is so far 5-2-4-3, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's what I assume, yeah.
10 seconds.
Even
remaining.
Sand King can be 4 if you really want to, or you can be 2. You see Minoy run the Sand King too.
5 seconds.
I don't know if
Sure.
it's something you should be imitating necessarily. I feel like that works when it's like a total blind side more than when it's sort of practical. Notice Sparta branding out a Razor in the last round. You think we might see a like a Troll or a Lifesteal or something on our one here?
Potentially.
Those are definitely the two heroes that immediately come to mind when we see a Razor band of this tournament so far. No, it's
Oh,
Anti-Mage.
okay.
Interesting.
Alright.
Very interesting. This looks like a fantastic Anti-Mage game so far.
Yeah, it looks pretty good. I think Titan and Sand King have enough lock. They definitely have enough lockdowns. That's 4, I guess 3 technically stuns, but Elder Titan has a practical stun.
Right. Well,
Radiant
yeah,
team
yeah.
back.
I think most people consider a sleep to be like a full-fledged stun, more
Yeah.
or less. It's very interesting.
It's a lot of lockdown.
They have a lot of lockdown, but they also have a lot to do about that lot of lockdown. Most notably, they got Silencer there. Silencer takes
10
all their
seconds
lockdown
remaining.
away. Bane can restrict somebody through a whole fight. And of course,
5
drain that
seconds
mana
remaining.
for that Mana Void, which is a hero interaction I don't know a lot of people consider that much. Panic banning out the 2s, a move that would not be too unexpected here, I gotta say.
Right.
Sparta banning out the 1s, which
10
is, again,
seconds remaining.
I think kind of a gimme. One guy I feel like they
5
definitely
seconds
have to get
remaining.
rid of here, Void. I would not want to see a Void coming in here. You know, put Anti-Mage and Silencer in the Chronosphere, you basically just win the team fight.
Yep.
Troll Warlord could also be pretty bad. Just having the ability to just hit R and ignore everything else you do for a while would be very nasty to deal with. Plus, he has a
Right.
very small mana pool, which means Anti-Mage isn't getting anything off on him with Mana Void.
Radiant team pick.
Slark? Yeah, that's another good one, actually.
Yep.
It is a little hard to see Slark matching up to Anti-Mage later on in the game, but certainly for quite a while, Slark would be a major menace to the anti-mage. I can definitely see the Slurk ban if you really want to force the game to go long.
10 seconds remaining. Dire team pick.
Wraith King.
But that might have... Well, that's interesting, because early on, Wraith King is not going to want anything to do with anti-mage for sure. Nothing puts a frown on the Wraith King's face like suddenly losing 25% of your mana and then dying without reincarnate like a doofus. Sparta gets the last pick here. It's very interesting. It could definitely be a make or break moment for them.
Something.
I wonder why you just said that,
Terrific.
considering the thing I said before that wasn't on camera. It's definitely not like it's getting super windy out and I'm just trying to test if my internet's still on or anything.
Wraith King, I do like Wraith King. He's had some good success in this tournament so far too. And I think against the AM, it's a better matchup than it looks like it might be.
It's
Especially
certainly-
once Wraith King gets shard, it doesn't really have a reason to care anymore.
Early game, he's going to want nothing to do with anti-mage. When the shard comes up, it'll start getting a little better.
Yep.
He's also going to be basically, outside of the fast lean auto attacks that they come up, he's going to be a large part of the anti-refraction. I guess actually most people outside of Titan can do something about the refraction here. It's not going to be great for TA. You got Little Shredder, you got the Lena fast auto attacks, you got the Sand King Sandstorm, and you got the Wraith Fire Blastex. So most of these refractions are probably not going to last terribly long, unfortunately, for all the TA fans in the audience.
Alright, looking like a good one.
I will say this, you could certainly make a debate on who scales better between Wraith King and Anti-Mage, but I feel like there's no debate on who scales better between TA and Lena. That's all TA. So certainly, and you know, again, if you want to talk about scaling, you know, though to a lesser degree, obviously it's not going to be as much of an impact in this game. I'd also say Centaur is handily going to outscale the Sand King. I would say Silencer, you know, not like it's going to matter that much. Silencer is going to outscale the Snapfire, certainly.
Prepare for
Late
battle.
game, I think, will overall favor Sparta as a result, especially also with that ability for Bane to stun through BKB. Late game, I think, will generally favor Sparta, though will be definitely magic is an abomination. Will definitely be a question getting there.
Very wise. Are you even trying?
Well, certainly, again,
The Titan says
there is a. They're not trying. All right, trying canceled.
Alright.
There's certainly a report to be made early game here by Panic. Snapfire, pretty solid early game ult if you can get it into some stuns. They certainly have more than
30
enough
seconds to
lockdown
battle.
between, you know, the Wraith King, the Lena, the Sand King. I mean, everybody has CC to some degree, so that's going to be good for the Snapfire. It's going to be good for that ult, especially early on. It's going to combine well with the Epicenter. You know, Lena is going to be able to do the old big single target. They also have that, I think, one of the more interesting things here. I think something that might play a bigger part than it would look on the surface of things. Up, Panic getting 3 runes is stunning out poor Big Boy.
Next time.
Better luck next time. One thing that might be, as Ocelot would say, an X factor in this matchup is actually natural order here. The ability to ruin sort of resistance is going to be quite a damper here. For starters, that's going to really limit the potential a lot of the Centaur Warrunners items have. You know, Elder Titan, great anti-3. It makes it so that, really, you've got damage block. Damage block is going to be good. Not in this scenario necessarily, but damage block is going to be okay. Attack speed slows are going to be okay. It reduces a lot of the pass you have to tank up. It makes you build predictably, and if you don't build successfully around it, it can really screw you up. You know, if you don't have something to counteract the old natural order, that can easily just turn you to mulch, no time flat. This guy's here bot, kinda low. I doubt much is gonna come of this. Elder Titan, very tanky guy.
Yeah. Okay. Kinda bully the Bane out here.
Yep, quite heavily bullied out. He will wish you for better luck next time. Counts are also getting quite heavily bullied. Supports all around just getting quite totaled. Though notably, Centaur Warren are also in the I'm getting beat up club. Though, you know, it is Centaur, he will be back up to full HP sooner than you know.
Right.
What do you think about this lane as anti-mage? If you were here, if you were in anti-mage is shoes, right, in this slot, what would you be thinking as far as your lane strat goes?
I mean, I'm fine with it. They can't really stop him from CSing that much, as you can kind of see there. He's on parity with the mids for CS, and he's about to get this whole wave pretty much for free as well.
Unless he misses last hits.
Yeah, that's true.
You missed that one. See, now you've cursed the poor guy.
Now he's gonna miss every single one.
Yep, there goes that one.
He gets that one.
Yeah, he gets a range creep. That's the important one. And there we go. So he got two.
Oh, yeah. That's life.
Yeah. Shoutouts to Giraffe / the Beatus.
Thank you, peasant.
I will say, I do feel like the armor break from Little Shredder could have some impact on this. It's not like Sand King is a, is going to be ever called a great fizz damage hero, but I can tell you somebody who is. You know, Lena's showing up with a full passive, just dropping 1,000 auto attacks on you a second while your armor's broken. That could be pretty bad.
Right.
Uphill miss on the courier. Very sad.
Sad.
Big Boix la Croix actually is showing the double edge here, presumably just waiting to get tranks before even looking at it.
Yep.
No.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I mean, he's that logo that I keep mistaking for Grandmaster, so at least there's that.
Yeah. Yeah, narrowly dodging an LSA likely would have been her doom. She got hit by it. Probably Lena has about half of a level's advantage up on TA here so far. TA is starting to close the gap a little bit. Seems like TA is having a little issue keeping up.
Yeah.
Oh, this could be bad. Lena's
It's
out of
okay.
mana.
Got reflection.
Oh, we missed first blood!
First blood.
We certainly did.
Exactly happened here. Stan just hung around a little too long. That certainly explains why I wasn't expecting that to go down like that. Wraith King picking himself up a soul ring.
Yeah, the old
sure.
soul ring on Wraith King, the panic button.
Yep, just to make absolute sure, no matter what Anti-Mage is doing, he can at least potentially reincarnate. Until that shard comes up. The Centaur coming in.
Said.
Shoutouts to Centaur, best member of Sparta. Big Boy La Croix again, kind of getting very heavily hassled in the
Yeah,
lane down here.
I agree. Big Boy La Croix is pretty good.
The jungle centaur, not the
Yeah.
war runner centaur.
Just
He's
gonna get a
pretty
little,
low.
little beat up here. We'll get stunned out.
This could be bad. And a good crit from Wraith King here.
Oh boy.
That
Good
salve.
self.
If that salve really ruins affairs here. Turning right around, looking right back at the lane. With all this regen, between the salve and the Ring of Health, and Centaur's just naturally strong regen. Oh, this could be bad. Oh, but he slept! Great sleep!
Yeah, he certainly
Great
is.
last second sleep by Comrade Chris there.
Made sure to catch the silencer too.
Definitely, good report there. Very good use of the silence.
Yeah, Bane here
Bane
probably.
just very dead.
Oh, very fire. You got him.
No, the cheese!
A good attempt. Although G-Ref did pick up boss on the other end.
Oh,
It's
probably
gonna
gonna pick up
actually
Shanking too. Yeah, gets a double.
Destroying both of them there. All right. That's what you like to see.
This game is balanced, as Anti-Mage just said. I'm glad they made it so if you die with the stupid cheese, you just drop it. Why Bane has cheese? Is this some very esoteric joke I just don't understand?
She's gives you nightmares.
Yeah. Sometimes I dream about cheese.
Yeah, he's dreaming about cheese and nightmares.
About
sense.
cheese, yeah, nightmare
Yeah.
about cheese.
This would make a great story
Chris?
if you were going to live.
A bit of a hurry spot there. He'll get away.
Yep. Wraith King, it seems like trying to make this a somebody must die situation. Oh, it looks like it might be him!
Somebody.
Oh, another
Oh,
great
God.
again!
Yeah, made sure to get the silencer again. He had to get both of them. Croix was likely gonna pop reincarnate there.
Centaur Warrunner actually pops Stampede just to get the kill on him. I missed out on a banana stand kill up there. Looks like they went pretty deep for that.
Fuel for my fire.
Oh jeez, just look around, you missed somebody dying.
Yeah, that's true. Is that a free
Actually,
TP back to base? I would assume so.
Big Boy has got to be tired of dealing with this Elder Titan by this point.
Oh yeah.
The worst part is a big reason, even with just 40%, right? A big reason Wraith King's able to do just this much damage, to put this much pressure on him, is that that natural order, that just single level does so much. Wraith King did start with a reincarnate here. He's getting reincarnated 6.
Yep. Okay.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Very interesting little exchange here. Just looking to just get the toll, the health tax on Centaur Warrunner there.
Comrade Chris, pretty good at this hero, huh? It's gonna have to be a one to
Yeah.
look out for if you see him in bracket.
Dire's middle tower is
Right,
under
yeah.
attack.
Or if you see him in week 7. I'm just saying. Anti-Mage again here. Ooh, the Mana Void there.
It's probably dead.
Still super low. Still
Yep.
super dead. Snapfire just eliminated by the Anti-Mage. Just run right over. Sand King looking to be next. Up. Anti-Mage gonna take a
just
nap.
a second too soon. Said.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Wraith King still so low. He always stays exactly low enough that Centaur just has that itch in the back of his mind to beat him up, but not low enough to actually go down easily.
Yep.
Silencer. Dropping everything on him.
Radiant's
Probably gonna
First
pop
reincarnate,
reincarnate there. Yeah.
Another funny little matchup here. Anti-Mage and Bane both heading south for the
Dire's
winner.
structures are fortified.
But I'm not liking what they find. They just kind of turn around.
Yeah.
Dire's
Snap
middle
in the
tower
Wraith
is under
King here.
attack.
Snap certainly, as we've seen before, has some great ability to just harass guys pushing up towers, which Sparta's doing out in full force here. Everybody wants this. Everybody
Dire's
wants to
middle
make the
tower
tradition
has
come
fallen.
true, but they just don't quite get it
Radiant
before
structures are
Lena's able to do the
fortified.
same to mid. I think the realization's starting to hit him here.
Getting an epi here.
Yep, we got Epi coming in. Centaur Warrunner very close to dead. Yep, very dead actually. Both the Alphalame members going down as TA just TPs out very casually.
Yep, Trash Boat just cleans up down here. We got the 5-man.
Dire's
Yep.
structures are
An
fortified.
emphatic end to lane phase.
Dire's bottom tower is
Lena
under
actually first place overall with that net worth by a pretty commanding margin over TA. It seems that TA just did not have a great time there at the mid lane. Though Anti-Mage, very close second,
attack.
as to be noted. Always a potentially dangerous thing with Anti-Mage.
It's not an outstanding matchup for
Oh!
that. Not an outstanding matchup for TA, because Lena has both the reach and the fast enough damage to deal with refraction.
Right, she has the
And
reach
if
to
you
be able to
even
ignore
if you
sideways
meld,
as
you
well.
can just get LSA'd, so.
Yep. Has everything you want. Has a response to Sideblaze, has a response to Meld, has a response to Refraction.
Radiant's
Doesn't
bottom
really care
tower
much
is
about
under
the
attack.
Psionic Traps, just everything good in the world. Ooh, Meld dodge, just barely Meld dodge the Wraith
Getting
Fire Blast
cookie
there,
there.
but still Cookie. Just getting really
Oh.
hammered here.
Good nightmare.
Bottom tower has fallen.
Stomp just comes in a little too late that time.
Oh boy.
Anti-Mage very optimistic about the amount of mana that Lena had used. Gets nothing done. Banana Stand shows off his brand spanking new Blink Dagger by blinking in deep to get the kill on TA there, finish her off. Bane tanks it for Anti-Mage. Very good play on Bane. Just the casual use of his ult forced everybody to turn around and start looking at him instead and allowed Anti-Mage very plainly to just get the hell out of there.
Yeah, he kills the Lena, takes her spot on the top of the network charts, and gets away.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
Banana
attack.
Stand's still looking for him though. Banana Stand has
he found
found him
him.
here.
But can blink away.
Yep. Nothing to say there. So far,
Dire's top tower is
now
under
worth
attack.
lead, just barely in Sparta's category here.
Dire's
Got to be a
top
little
tower
sweat-inducing
has
if you're Panic, considering I would generally call them, like I said at the beginning, I would generally call them the early game team here this round. They are
Right.
starting off a little rocky, especially with Anti-Mage being the one possessing the lead. You know, Anti-Mage being the one so far out in front, and Lena being the one
Radiant
you know,
structures are fortified.
with the good position for you. You know, the most ideal thing in the world. Why did he do that? Just wanted
Why
to get
not?
to the lane, I guess. Just wanted to farm the lane instead of the jungle.
Yep. Always better if you have the choice.
Comrade Chris paints the river with Google Chrome.
Yeah.
Stampede here. Fight
fight down
happening by the Dire Triangle. Lena kind of caught out here. That's a pretty good LSA. Just barely gets the Centaur Warrunner. Global Silence prevents any sort of follow-up in the Elder Titan ult as Lena gets shot down by TA there.
I have very good timing on the global.
Double kill for TA actually. Jumping in on the Snapfire here. Snapfire pretty much just tanking for the Sand King, or not Sand King, for the Wraith King, though Sand King himself actually does make a appearance here. Has the Epi, but he gets Bane ulted, and down he goes. Anti-Mage again very optimistic about the amount of mana that Wraith King was down. Just drops a very casual void, but unfortunately just comes up
Radiant's
very,
middle
very
tower
short.
has fallen.
Still looking at the
Yeah,
Wraith
going
King
on
here.
Again.
They
As a
definitely don't.
reincarnate.
Yeah, they definitely have a little. Well, they could get him
Okay.
here.
He has stick and soaring, so
Yep.
unless he dies right now, that's probably not. Yeah.
All right. Yep. Very unfortunate for them. Feel like perhaps if Anti-Mage were a little more intense there, he probably could have gotten it, but it would have come at immense risk. Bane just getting very casually Laguna Bladed.
Yep, just gonna delete him.
Very sad Laguna Blade, actually, because Bane was already very low health. So Lena just eliminates him from the universe. Big Boy La Croix picked off here. LSA and the Sand King ult. Defensive Stampede gets him out of there, though. He's kind of spinning on his heels here. He's kind of looking to get back in the action there.
Yeah, it doesn't have much backup here, though.
Right. His buddies are all off somewhere else.
Tower is under attack.
TA split pushing, Anti-Mage, not Anti-Mage silencer in the jungle, Anti-Mage himself also splitting.
Oh yeah, it was the Bane TP.
Anti-Mage finds a block to camp. Very sad for him.
It's indeed blocked. You know, that vision we always talk about with Panic.
Right. Vision, a very important key part of Panic's game. Certainly something to consider playing against them. Very interesting little Blink Dagger scuffle there, as a lot of Blinks come in and go out at the same time, right on Sand King there. Ultimately makes it out.
Sparta says, "You want to block our ancients? We'll do yours."
Yep.
Panic says, "Absolutely not."
Yep, they drop quite a bit.
Oh,
like double kill of the Mana Void. Wraith King dies without being able to reincarnate. Just gets too much Mana Storm from both the Anti-Mage and the Bane. Snapfire gets annihilated. Great global silence there. Some noble efforts involved there, certainly, but Chris actually sticking around to try and waste some time on the push here, but boy, that sure doesn't go well for him. Team wipe there for This Is Sparta. That's got to be good news for them. I can tell you this much, this is a very good report, I think, certainly for Sparta here.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Very promising start. Sand King just getting completely run over by 4 members of Sparta here. Silencer ends up with the kill and with some nice end for himself. That's 14 so far. Anti-Mage got Sanjin Yasha, huh? That's interesting. Not the most common AM item in the world.
He's gonna go into eggs after that too.
Also not the most common AM item in the world. What do you think of this Anti-Mage build, Randy?
We'll see how it plays out. I haven't tried it before. Can't really give my opinion on it.
You can go on theory here. How do you think it's going to work out?
I don't know. He might not have enough late game with this kind of build, but again, I can't really comment on builds I haven't tried personally.
Yeah, it definitely feels like they're trying to fight early with this Anti-Mage build. Which, I don't know if that's exactly the plan. I think the plan for Anti-Mage here might have been better off looking late. The Bane cheese.
Go for Kai here.
He dropped Stampede for it, but unfortunately Sleep comes in. Anti-Mage going to bed. He is able to blink out thanks to the Sanjin Yasha there.
Lena Bane ulti on Lena.
Yep, Bane ulted. Gets annihilated actually though. A Snapfire ult comes in, knocks out the Bane, and ultimately mostly gets the Silencer killed. G-Wrath is godlike.
Certainly is.
healing power.
Though, one thing to note, Anti-Mage is godlike, but he has gone godlike with a very early focused build. Whereas Wraith King certainly is looking more at a sort of traditional long game sort of build here. There is going to definitely be a transitionary period where, like, Wraith King, especially now that he has that shard up, Wraith King is going to be dominating for a while because he's building more like a traditional pause 1, and until Anti-Mage gets on that same wavelength with him, then he is going to have some trouble defeating the big old skeleton. Speaking of beating things that are big and old, beating up Rosh here, Boss checks it and doesn't like what he found, that's for sure. The Rift of Radiant, a little hesitant to follow in themselves.
Yeah, I don't think they necessarily have what they need to fight this.
Aegis out on TA.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Not a bad Aegis carrier by anybody's metric, I would say. Anti-Mage really looking to go deep on Lena there, but doesn't ultimately end up pursuing it out.
Yeah, Lena's got that move speed.
Bang collects the Wages of Fear.
Double damage.
Silencer is going to be doing double damage now.
That's true.
He's actually doing pretty comparable damage. I think actually maybe just slightly more, probably less counting the mana break than Anti-Mage. I just thought that was a fun fact. Also sitting on 16 int. A bit unfortunate, he's been missing out on int in some of these last couple of fights.
It's definitely a shame, but it would be more of a shame for like a core silencer than support. Support doesn't really care that much.
Right, it's nice to have. It'll definitely help you if you're looking at a long game, which I think Sparta really should be, if nothing else. Speaking of Sparta looking to get a kill here. They're looking at one of the best possible people for this smoking to just suddenly pop in on. And they're all over him here.
Oh, they're just gonna annihilate him. Well, I'm kind of quick with the response.
Sand King immediately ulting in. Snapfire tries to ult as well, but the global silence just puts an Ixnay on that.
Oh, he got gripped.
Have a good grip.
Fortunately, the creep wave is in the worst possible spot for this.
Yep, all the way back to their own T2. They're gonna have to travel quite a long way. Got a lot done there with that smoke gank. It's a very well called smoke. Yeah, Equilibrium bad all around the map. Lena's just been pushing out these really all lanes this whole time. Is actually just knocking out. Probably gonna knock out this T2 at a roughly the same rate that Sparta does, actually. Sort of pulling out Anti-Mage to come deal with this himself. Though without him here, it is opening them up quite heavily. Silencer and Centaur Warren are just having to make a run for it. Especially with Wraith King coming back up. He's got that armlet on, and he's looking to use it. Armor is broken, super broken on the Bane there. Centaur Warrunner coming in to try and buy Bane some time to live. Starts turning things around. Actually gets another kill! Man. Silencer does not live to see the day with Lena beating them on the backline there, but geez. Jesus. That is a very ideal little fight there, especially for Anti-Mage not being around to see any part of it.
Yep.
Instead he's beating up Potato and Tomato. He has changed direction here. Going instead of Ags for Scotty,
Radiant's
which is
middle
a bit more
tower is
conventional.
under
I would
attack.
say probably not a bad move
Radiant's
here.
middle tower has fallen.
T2 mid falls down, no opposition in the meanwhile. Scotty actually very nearly finished.
Radiant's top
Yeah.
tower is under attack.
I think he could get it more or less with this wave and an Ancient Camp, though he wants neither of these things. It seems he's kind of letting Jackie Chen get all this farm, which I don't know if
Radiant's top tower is under
is
attack.
the perfect strat here. Both the Sand King and the Snapfire just kind of hanging out here in the little back lines.
A couple guys in the trees. That's
Radiant's top
let's see
tower
it.
has
But
fallen.
Yeah, Anti-Mage did not really sort of figure out the strat there until it was a little too late. Age is about to expire here. Just not able to blow it in time. Oh, Silencer actually gets picked off on the retreat there. And yep, there there goes the Aegis. Just popped. Anti-Mage finishes the Scotty.
yep.
Anti-Mage finishes the Scotty just as soon as Wraith King finishes the Desolator.
Certainly true.
One thing that might actually be big for them, Lena actually heading right in for a Silver Edge. The Sange is going to hurt the Silver Edge a little bit because, you know, the status resistance, but being able to break
Yep.
Anti-Mage in the middle of a fight is quite a handy utility, and he can't purge that. He's
Yeah, he
got to
can't.
live with it.
Even
Absolutely
if he
nothing.
bought a Manta, it wouldn't
Yep.
help him.
Nothing stops it, no purge.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
He's gonna pick up that Elven Tunic. It's pretty good.
And it ratting very hard here.
Oh yeah.
Sort of a desperational by Elder Titan there. It's absolutely no one, but Lena-
Jackie Chen's dead.
yep, Lena just runs right over the TA there. Breaks down the shield for Wraith King to get some damage in. Picks up Bane as well. It's definitely a feather
Not a
in
tremendously encouraging sign there.
yep. Definitely a feather in Panic's cap. Definitely a sign for TA that she's immortal. TA been playing, you know, Jackie has been playing like kind of like he's been immortal for a little while now. But that Aegis, brother, that Aegis is not there.
Yeah.
No, you're not the one who's going crazy here as far as that net worth goes. Silver Edge is up. Lena could feasibly at this
Dire's
point
middle tower is under attack.
feasibly kill Anti-Mage more or less unassisted if she gets a good go on him.
Does spot him there, but just a little reluctant.
Does not want to go on him. Sparta getting the best of the worst in the T3 category. Picking up
Yeah, that's true.
your favorite jungle item, the Clover, and Ocelot's favorite jungle item, the Psychic Headband.
He doesn't like Psychic Headband.
He says it should be T2.
Yeah, I say. Yeah, that sounds about right. It's like way too situational to be a tier 3.
Yeah.
Radiant's
uh,
bottom tower is under
I
attack.
would not be surprised if it's oh, that blast rig on the Sand King actually really played dividends for him there.
I have
Anti-Mage
a lot
could
of
not
guys
quite get him.
around.
Actually just lost Bane off screen there here mid.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Anti-Mage looking to go on this. It's a pretty big mana void
there's a
off.
sh-
Dire's top
Wraith King
tower
has a
is
shard
under
though,
attack.
so
Yep.
it's a little.
Radiant's
Not quite as good. It's still
Dangerous.
nice. You know, still nice to just get rid of that Wraith King mana pool. Oh, Anti-Mage!
Oh.
Anti-Mage just dropped Godlike to Wraith King! Oh no!
bottom tower
Oh, that sucks. That is... Oh, that's horrific. Unfortunately, the global silence does come there, but it's just a bit too late. Everything's already down. Ate both an entire epicenter and the entirety of a Snapfire barrage, and he was getting beat up by both the major cores there.
He took Laguna Blade, and that was really what sealed his fate.
Right. I believe he was broken when he took it too. Just made that worse. That was rough. Like I said, that Silver Edge against the Anti-Mage there, it's really, really nasty. So as I was saying, you know, Psychic Headband fits really well in the roster of items that have been deleted for, like, removed from the pool for reasons that aren't, they're just really broken and OP. You know, it's a really boring way to have an effect that you can already get with an item that you're certainly going to have when you, like, by the time you would get Psychic Headband anyway, if you're really looking for it. It's very niche, but the niche isn't interesting.
Right.
I was thinking there was going to be some Rosh pit action here. It looks like there still might be. They're being a little slow on it. Panic actually going beyond their name here. They're trying to panic by the Rosh pit here. Oh! Bane just getting slapped.
Yeah, they just delete that guy immediately.
Wraith King just kind of hobbling around the fight looking for something to do here. He does have Reincarnate up. He's going to lose Lina, actually. As Anti-Mage is beating people in the back lines, Anti-Mage clearly is convinced that the strategy for beating the Skeleton King here is just get rid of all his friends before going in. He gets to eat an entire Epi, though! Has to eat an entire Epicenter, and that's, that kind of lunch is so big and so filling. You gotta sit down after it, you can't keep fighting.
No, it's looking like a 3 for...
Uh-oh.
Oh dear.
Oh, he's so low, dude. Anti-Mage is so low. But they just can't quite get him. And now Sand King's going to die for his sins. Wacky team fight just going back and forth.
Yeah.
4 for 3 with the fight with the team that you wouldn't necessarily expect to be the up team there. I will say this is starting to things are starting to look bad for Anti-Mage here. It's starting to look like he really does not have great options to survive the Wraith King at the moment. He does have he has a lot. You can see with the way he's building. He's really putting a lot of thought into how much magic damage that Panic can do to him, which is right. It is correct. They do have a lot, you know, between the Snapfire ult and the Sand King ult. Of course, Laguna as well before that gets the Ags version. But he is kind of missing at this point on anything that's going to help him stand up to the Skeleton King. And of course, you had that little factor in that fight. It's that goddamn natural order. It's really screwing with his armor, just making that even worse for him. Snapfire ult just coming in for the Wraith King. Global silence there, but again, it's just a little too late. Just a bit unfortunate the last few fights, how the last few fights have gone for old Silencer there. Slight swing and a miss for Big Boy La Croix. He just barely whiffs his attack on the... oh man, Anti-Mage just very casually went down there.
Yeah, he certainly did. This Lena's a big problem for him, actually. You would think that would be the other way around, but no. Trash Boat really just is a thorn in the AM side in this game.
And they're going to get Rosh with the Shard too. And they're going to pick up the Aegis here. Yeah, that break on the Silver Edge, just going right for the break and just focusing entirely on Anti-Mage with it. Plus, one thing, you know, to consider as well, who's always around when things go wrong for Anti-Mage is that Elder Titan, just blowing up his armor. Blowing up his armor as well as his ability to tank spells as well. Really, just not something Anti-Mage wants to deal with. It makes him so fragile.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
And it's a thing where I feel like if you're looking at this match on paper, you're looking at Anti-Mage going down. The only thing you're going to usually say, I think, is why. It doesn't seem like it. But that natural order, man, that's having such a high impact. Up, Banana Stand got the IBS shard. It's probably what they went with from Rosh there.
Tower has fallen.
Didn't want the Scatter Blast on, or the cool Laguna Blade. Going on Silencer. Silencer actually have an Aeon Disc here.
Dire's
Yep.
top
He's
tower
gonna dive
second
threes
save, though.
for him. And down he goes. Just gets eaten by that Lina. Lina really starting to go out of control. This really needs to die basically in the next fight. She's not even going to present for them next fight. She's going to rat bot instead. Definitely a strong performance here from Trashboat. Certainly no slouch as a mid.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Yep.
He's had a lot of success. I believe he's a former winner as well. Has a season under his belt. Big trophy there.
Certainly does.
Looking at hassling the T3 here. Though he is
Yeah,
going to
he's
get
gonna
punished for it.
He's
But
gonna
not that
get sucked out
much.
of here.
Goodbye,
Oh, boy.
Bane. Here comes the snap ult. Global Silence comes in. It's just too late. Centaur's already lost his whole health bar, but Anti-Mage does get the Lina there. Gonna have the reincarnate on both the. Oh no, no, Brave King is going to reincarnate there. Reincarnate on both Lina and the Skeleton King. Boix la Croix actually very bravely trying to stand and fight there. And it actually kind of works out as Radiant do not want to deal with them, just walk right out of town.
Very bloody siege there.
Yep. Well, it was less bloody than it actually looked. Nobody ended up actually dying, just 2 Aegises popped.
And Bane died.
Yeah,
gotta-
man. So there's a little blood, but he doesn't have blood, he just has like Ichor.
That's true. Bloodseeker
just a
would be
drink.
pissed.
Yeah. There's no blood here. Bloodseeker has lines, but that involve like stealing blood from, like trying to steal blood from.
Yeah, like when he kills Io or whatever.
Yeah. I feel like they should just be more angry. It's like, what the hell? Where's the blood? Bloodseeker.
I'll let Bloodseeker's voice actor know.
Yeah, John St. John. Famously, as seen before in both 5-star classic Duke Nukem 3D and 0-star classic Duke Nukem Forever. And
Yeah,
also
yeah.
0-star classic This Is a Police.
Yeah.
Randy, I got a question for you. You have to answer honestly.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Would you rather play Duke Nukem Forever 100% or be forced to play with Enchanted Quiver as your only jungle item for a month?
Probably Duke Nukem Forever.
That's a big hundo, dude. It's one of those games where they have way too much crap. You sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
None to burn.
See, the easy answer is just Enchanted Quiver for a month and then just don't play that month.
Just don't play for a month, yeah.
Just sit out.
Or I just pick like I don't know, what's Quiver good on
Snap getting
TA, that's
Snap
it.
getting hassled here. You know what Ocelot says Quiver is actually good on, even though it's not a ranged hero.
What?
Says it's good on Tusk. Says the bonus
I
damage.
guess, yeah, I can see it. Sure.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh, counter
Stun
spell.
himself.
Yep.
Yeah.
Bane laughs at him, but only to his friends.
Regeneration.
Lincoln's coming up on the Titan there. Also going to be good for stopping Mana Void. That's also going to be good for stopping the Bane ult. It's been targeting him much
For
with, with that in those fights, so. Also going to stop Nightmare, which is also pretty convenient when you can get that to happen. Oh man, you always see Panic here approaching this uphill the same way, and I think it's a very mean strategy. You know, Snapfire and Lena hitting the tower from outside its range while, you know, if somebody responds, the Wraith King just comes in behind them. Global Silence coming in here. As Wraith King goes deep, he's just getting hammered by Dire, but just not to the degree you probably want to get him with. He's going to go down here. I think he's basically doomed to reincarnate. Anti-Mage is here. Pops the Aeon Disc on the fire.
Actually, Blink on Wraith King doing a lot of work in these fights.
Yep. Once again, the Radiant just kind of routed out from the base here. Anti-Mage just gonna eat Elder Titan for breakfast there, just completely destroys him. Picks up a leveler, that could be game changing. Doesn't want it though. Guess TA could take that just as easily. TA going right for Ags here. Wants to get that the cool trap teleports. Anti-Mage has finished up a butterfly here.
Yep.
He's looking pretty good at this point. He's relatively close to 6-slotted actually.
Yeah, just needs Abyssal.
Yep, finish Abyssal and get that Moon Shard. I will say, it's probably not a great sign for them that Anti-Mage is more or less 6-slotted and he's still kind of struggling against Wraith King, who is not even close to that point. I guess he is pretty close. But,
pretty close, yeah. Just maybe get rid of the Armlet and Soul Ring. Yeah.
Yep. And get the Ags. Very, very, very good Ags. I think,
yeah, but nobody buys the eggs, so that's
yeah.
probably not gonna happen.
One of the most slept on items in the entire game. Pause 3's collide. Banana stand jumping in right on the Centaur there, right on Big Boy. Bane,
no.
Bane going to be the ultimate casualty of the affair though. Stampede to try and get himself out completely fails. Actually stun him out and kill him right under it. Anti-Mage going in on the back line there, though he just has to dip.
Yeah, he just has to vacate that one.
Poor Centaur, he does have buyback, but he does not have the ult to defend this with.
I return to battle.
Does buy, but kind of has to. You have to kind of ask the question: what exactly is he going to be doing here? Panic going right for the racks here. You can definitely tell Panic have realized, okay, we've taken this early game initiative. Let's get as much done as we can objective-wise here. Snapfire ult coming in. Anti-Mage actually goes in deep to get him. The Centaur ends up with a dieback there. Reincarnate out on the
Trash Boat's
Wraith
just gonna
King.
kill everyone.
Yep. Ultra kill for Lena. Anti-Mage buys. There's too many darn wizards. Anti-Mage probably feels the same way.
Yeah.
Once again, Anti-Mage just can't. It just feels like he can never go in. And at this point, there's not even natural order stopping him anymore. All he is. Oh, the counterspell. The counterspell actually screws him over there. He doesn't. I don't think he realized he was jumping out of place there until it's too late. And that's it. Jackie Chen calls the G.
Lena, and yeah, that's it.
Ouch.
Lena just wipes the floor with him.
There's nothing
Wraith
sadder.
King's there too.
There's nothing sadder in this world than a game where Anti-Mage starts out going beyond godlike and ends losing.
Yeah.
I do have a theory. I think my theory was wrong, at least for game 2, right? My theory was in game 1. I think Sparta just assumed kind of they were knocked out of the contention here. I think Sparta kind of assumed that they had no chance and didn't really play like they did, which is the quickest way to lose a game. The quickest way to lose a game is to not try, of course. But in game 2 here, there definitely was a concerted effort. Just a few things went wrong for them. Ask Culture 3 had some very good global silences earlier on in the game, but unfortunately, the longer things went on for him, the more that started to kind of degrade to the point where in the later fights, oftentimes he was dying before he could get it off at all, even with the Aeon Disc. Definitely some more time on the field against some very well put together lineups like Panic would definitely be good for him there. The just the muscle memory seemed a little off. The Sanjin Yasha started out good on the anti-mage, but ultimately I feel like that ended up kind of being an anchor around his neck. I feel like he just didn't have the amount of damage he needed ultimately. Abyssal would have helped that to a degree. You're an anti-mage player. What do you think? Sell the SMY, get something else, maybe like a Manta there or something?
Yeah, Manta would help.
Right. Especially helped spare the pain of blowing up the mana pool. Even though Wraith King's got the shard, it's not like he likes having no mana all the time per se.
Yep.
Especially with how much he's relying on Swift Blink there. You know, Lena especially. Lena has a pretty tough time dealing with anti-mage with that Manta style, just being able to Manta dodge stuff, being able to just knock her pool out instantly. You know, stop her from just winding up for more attacks there. I do feel like it was a bit of an anchor. I feel like,
AM Satanic isn't unheard of either. You could go
right,
that way. Maybe
certainly,
stand
yeah.
up to Wraith King a little better.
The pipe on this Centaur was good. I can't complain too much about how Centaur itemized. It's just very unfortunate because, you know, Elder Titan is so good at just unwriting pause 3s. You know, the pipe ended up basically only having any meaning from the active, and that still is a lot of meaning. You know, being able to soak up a big portion of the Snapfire ults and the Sand ults, that still definitely adds some meaning to it, but unfortunately the passive got cut into a little bit. Of course, what were they going to do? They didn't have that, right? Especially without a BKB on Anti-Mage. Which I don't think that actually ended up... It might seem like it on the surface. I don't think that ended up really factoring much into this. Like, Anti-Mage's... Outside of a few Laguna Blades in particular, Anti-Mage's big issue this game was not actually, like, the magic damage. It's just not being able to stand up to all the right-clicking going on.
Yeah, from the Lena and Wraith King.
Certainly to that end, I know I said it about 1,000 times so far this week. Shiva's Guard on the Centaur could have, I think, played a part to help that out to a good degree. The TA, unfortunately, ended up playing a fairly limited role in the actual outcome of the game. I feel like had a very good KDA, but you know the damage fairly good as well. But later on, it just felt like she was getting fairly knocked out of the fights, and you can definitely tell something's going on when Centaur Warrunner, even though she does have a pretty good damage count there, Centaur Warrunner of all people actually out damages her both to the heroes and to buildings there. Not usually a good
Yep.
sign. I feel like they just had a lot to deal with the meld. They had a lot to deal with the refraction, and when you have a lot to deal with both of those things, TA doesn't have a lot to add. I feel like the TA there probably ultimately did not do them many favors. I feel like the strat was to you know, if they were going to try and pull early game fights with anti-mage anyway, maybe the strat would have been to go for an earlier game mid and try to just rely on anti-mage later on. Like,
Right.
nobody's gonna say like Quap, for example, is like a super early game hero, but like certainly I would say dominant in mid game would be fairly good. Any of the spirits I think would have done them some good there over the TA pick, I think. Like, imagine the sort of havoc that the old Void Spirit Silence could cause. Imagine the world we'd be living in if every time Snapfire started to ult and Silencer wasn't there to put a stop to it. You know, Storm Spirit could just ball through and just stop it immediately. Imagine
Yep.
the world we'd be living in if, you know, if Ember Spirit could get a Mjolnir proc off of every single one of the Wraith King skeletons. That sort of thing, right?
Yeah.
TA pick did them no favors here. I think it was a very good showing. Um, Ultimately, has to be a bit of a disappointment. Again, it's very sad, just a very sad day for Sparta here. They had a pretty tough match. They did a good job, but ultimately just couldn't quite seal the deal.
I mean, you can have good showings against good teams all you want, but if you don't get the wins, you're not going to be in the bracket.
That's true. They are. If they do go 2-0 against LDR this weekend, though, I'm pretty sure they are more or less secure for bracket.
Guys, that's 8 wins. 8
Yep.
wins is guaranteed.
So, you think they're going to be able to do it? Let's hear your big prediction.
Maybe. it's more likely to be a 1-1.
I think the big thing for me is I feel like this is Sparta. I mentioned this on the BBC. This is Sparta has the cure for a lot of what LDR has, right? Um, Sparta has a very strong focus on their off lane, and with a relatively new Pause 5, not relatively new per se, but I think he's the lowest MMR on their team, for example, right? Their Pause 5 there, I feel like Big Boy is going to be able to give them some hell early on, and that's going to be a big damper in their strategy. And another big thing is I feel like LDR kind of struggles, especially with the ban half of the drafting phase. And a pool like this is Sparta, which is like gigantic for some of these guys, that cannot make that easier. So to that
Right.
degree, I feel like it's going to be two good showings from LDR, but unfortunately for them, I don't really see like, I definitely just if there is a path for them, it's going to be the godlike match show again. It's going to be all on him and Baldeck to try and basically hold the boat steady as Esper is going to just have to go back and farm. But then that will be Sunday. This is now, right? If you want to know what's happening Saturday, it's probably going to be tonight when we're posting this. 7 Eastern, 6 Central, 5 Mountain, 4 Pacific, 3 if you're in Alaska, 2 if you're in some Pacific Islands, 1 if you're in Hawaii, I think. Midnight if you're in the UK, or whatever time it is, wherever you are. We're gonna have the old pre-show panel. Oh, fun! It's gonna be great. I have no idea who's gonna be there at this point, which means you don't either. Which means you gotta show up to see who might just be there, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
You might see a fun guest who shows up, gives you a little bit of the business, right? Or you might see the traditional panel united together for the first time since week 1. All that kind of fun stuff. Of course, Sunday night, right? Well, Sunday evening, I guess, is a better way to put it. We're going to be doing the Lich Better Have My Money versus Panic at the Rosh Pit, funnily enough, game. It's going to be fun to see. And
Certainly will.
as always, if you're somebody you know wants to learn Dota 2 at a casual or more competitive level, absolutely do not be afraid to show up here, sign up as stand-ins. Desperately, desperately needed. We've had 2 different games ended up, one game and 1 series ended up being thrown due to stand-in-based shenanigans. Oh, in fairness, one of them was just too many stand-ins, but still, stand-ins always very, very well wanted around the LD2L circuit, so if you are in that MMR bracket, do not hesitate to sign up. I'm sure somebody will take you, and then you'll get to be commentated by me, and
Not sure.
Randy, and maybe Ocelot, potentially.
Probably not.
Probably not statistically, but you know. And yeah, any closing thoughts here?
Nothing more than what's already been said.
Alright. We'll see you next time with a final game of this pack, the Rosh Riders versus Radiant Straits, which I somehow managed to avoid getting spoiled on. See you then!
Wow.